Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. um, I'm gonna tell a story of basically of what we've been told happened by one of the occupants of the car. They were coming down this road. Anthony was late to pick his girlfriend up on her lunch break, and so they were flying, and came around the corner there. And from what the investigators have said, basically he went airborne at some point right around that spot right in here and hopped the ditch and came down. And this has grown back up so much. It's been 10 months, and it's amazing the difference, because this was basically barren when we were here because of the fire. He hit that tree stump just laying there, the bottom of his car, scraping across it and it tearing the fuel lines. That's what we understand happened. And he ended up landing. There was, and I don't see it now, but there were, I believe it was actually, you could see right there, there's part of his car. But this is the tree that he actually hit. And it looks like, I know Shauna brought out the metal cross. I'm not going down in there, I can't. But she brought out that metal cross that has the sunflower, and it has a neat little saying, but it looks like different people have brought stuff out. It hit that tree, and Dad brought the dashboard in and trapped him inside the vehicle. From what Jesse said, he turned around and Zach had been knocked unconscious. Zach was his best friend, and he turned around and he was slapping Zach, trying to get him awake, because Jesse had her pelvis and her leg broken. The bone was sticking through her skin. She could not move. And so he was slapping Zach, who had a head injury, telling him to wake up because he could smell the gas, and he needed Zach to get himself and Jesse out of the car. And Jesse said that when Zach woke up, he saw that Anthony was trapped, and he climbed between the two front seats. And started trying to get him out. And Anthony told him, "Man, I'm trapped. I don't feel anything at all. I'm not in any pain. But Jesse's legs are broken and she can't get herself out. And I need you to get the two of you out of here and get across the street." He wanted him to get across the street over here to a ditch. He said, "Get down, because this car is going to blow and I don't want you in it." He said, "Save yourself." And Zach said, "No, you're my brother. I'm not leaving you." And he kept trying to get Anthony out. And Anthony told him, "Zach, here's my phone. I can't get a signal." He had tried to call myself and his dad, his aunt, I think his sister. He said, I can't get a signal. And what infuriates me is every time I've been out here now, I have a great signal. But he had none that night, so he couldn't get anyone through, get EMS out at all. He kept trying to call. You could see where he tried to call 911 several times with no luck. They were actually in the vehicle for about 30 minutes before it blew up. But so he told him, he said, "Get across the street." And so Zach climbed back through the seats and got Jessie out of the car and took her across and got her down the ditch and came back to help Anthony again. And Anthony said, "I want you away from this vehicle. It's going to blow up, and I don't want you anywhere near it." He said, "I don't feel anything. My door is jammed shut. The steering wheel, the dashboard is down on my legs, and I can't get out." Jesse said Zach finally left him and went over and got in the ditch. And that they could hear Anthony praying. And that Anthony was speaking in a foreign language. And Anthony didn't know a foreign language, but he got the Holy Ghost when he was like 6, and I know that he wasn't doing everything right at all times, but who is? And I know that he had been praying and trying to get right with God. She said that they heard him speaking in a foreign language. And then he started saying the Lord's Prayer, and he recited it twice, word for word. And she said, and then he slumped down in his seat. And she said, it got so quiet, and then the car blew up. And she said, we didn't hear screaming, we didn't hear crying, we didn't hear anything. So they thought he had actually managed to get out somehow and out the other side of the vehicle, and they just didn't see him, that he had gotten down. There's like water out right in there. I can't really get any closer, but that's a body of water. And they thought he had gotten into it and was safe from the flames. As you can see, the flames went all the way up the trees. And it was so hot when we were here that next day. The area caught on fire again. We had to call 911. And the coroner said that Anthony did not have any smoke in his lungs, but that his injuries should not have killed him. So it was a mystery as to why he did not die by suffocation or burn alive. But when I was told the story, I knew what it was. I knew he had passed. God had let him go ahead and pass so he didn't suffer. And that's how Anthony passed away. I've heard it said many times now that he died the way he lived his life. Putting his friends, his loved ones first. Making sure they were okay before himself. And that was my son.